Everyday life's happening. Some days are more eventful. Others, living protected with insurance you can depend on changes your life for the better. We insure the people and things you care about. Not Agency. We'll help you find the right coverage so when life happens, you have the right insurance protection for your family and business. When life happens, live protected. Agency for all your insurance needs.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on this Tuesday, May the 31st, the day after Memorial Day. And we've got a lady who is very, very, very busy today. Diana Moxon. Good to have you here, Diana Moxon.
Paul, it's good to be back.
Yeah, you got Art in the Park coming up very soon.
5 days.
Yeah, very soon.
This Saturday.
This is the biggest event of the year for the Columbia Art League, right?
It is. It's one of the biggest events of the year for Columbia. But
I guess it is. How many thousands of people come through Art in the Park?
I think on a good year when the weather is nice, I'd say around 10 to 12,000 people. So it's not like hundreds of thousands. And I like to keep my numbers realistic. I'd say it's about 12,000.
10 to 12,000 people.
Yep.
Now that's a lot of people. But you know what's so nice about it is even though there are that many people there, you don't feel crowded. You don't feel like you've got a wiggle room. It's nice.
Well,
you've got enough space.
The park is plenty big enough. I think sometimes in the little art alleyways, when you're going between the booths and it's really packed, then it can get pretty busy if you've got, there's strollers and people chatting and,
Some people chanting?
People chatting.
Oh, chatting.
Not chanting.
Some chanters there we didn't know about.
Me neither. So it can get pretty busy, but it's fun.
How many vendors will you have?
We have 110 artists from across the country, and this year I was looking, I think it's at 20 states. And so they really come from all the edges. We have Oregon, Massachusetts, North Dakota, Minnesota, Texas, and Florida. So it's really all over the country they're convening on Columbia for the weekend.
And you know what's amazing is the fact that they travel that distance just to come to Art in the Park.
To visit us.
And to visit, right. But it's so important since they've come here for us as a community to go out to Art in the Park and support them.
I have trained you well, Paul. Exactly. As I always say, there are so many other festivals on the same weekend as Art in the Park, and so the artists have choices. And those of them that have chosen to come to us for the weekend, I really feel like I want to make sure that they have a great time, that they go home and we have shopped with them, we've asked them questions, we've been curious about their work, and we've given them a great time, we've looked after them well, we've given them great hospitality, and they leave and they love us and they think that is an awesome city and we want to come back again next year. Because keeping it active and keeping it vibrant and keeping the whole festival alive and keeping people coming back is kind of part of the backstory of what my job is. It isn't just the year on the ground that you see before you. It's how do we make this keep on going? How do we keep the momentum going? And so that is...
So how do you keep the momentum going?
Well, you do. I mean, the community does. It's about everybody kind of playing their part. And so it's about, if you want to buy birthday presents on holiday shopping, come to Art in the Park and do it. If you think, my kitchen needs some embellishment, how about I get some new coffee mugs or some new plates, or maybe I need a new scarf or some new jewelry or a new painting for behind the sofa. Or if you have a business, you think, we should have a little business expense. It would be great to have a piece of original art in the lobby, or there's all sorts of things people can do. So spending money at Art in the Park is one thing that we can all do to make it vibrant and keep the momentum going.
And the other nice thing about Art in the Park, you go to Art in the Park and you're going to run into people that you haven't seen for 6 months or a year or longer. I don't know how many people we ran into that I hadn't seen for a long time.
There's a lot of people there.
It's like a big reunion also.
Well, that's great. And the other thing is volunteers. I mean, it doesn't exist without the army of volunteers to make it happen. And
you need some volunteers.
We do need a few extra volunteers, but they are crucial. But we need over 200 people really to make Art in the Park come together. And so there's always a few spots that stay open. So we definitely still have, if you think this will be a fun thing to do, you get an awesome t-shirt with this beautiful design on it with the mason jar and we've got a camera there.
Yeah.
The mason jar. There you go.
Okay. So
There we
if
go.
you want to, we're showing a picture of this so you can see it
Beautiful
online.
mason jar with flowers and paintbrushes coming out of it. So we have lovely T-shirts. You get a T-shirt. I know it's not a giant thing, but I mean it's limited edition. Not everybody has one, and you can do as little as 2 hours. So we're not asking
Wait
you
a
to give
minute.
up your
So
whole
you
weekend.
can volunteer for just 2 hours,
2 hours.
and you get the T-shirt
Right, and all our love.
and all your love. But if you want to volunteer more than 2 hours, you can volunteer. You can volunteer for both days, can't you?
You can. Some people do all weekend. They're there as long as I am. Those are kind of the really hardcore people, the super core. But there are people that will just do like all day Saturday or all day Sunday, or they'll do 2 hours each day. So it's not a giant commitment, but it really, really makes a difference.
So what are some of the things that you're asking the volunteers to do?
Well, fun things like, making art with the kids. So we've got the kids art spot where kids make art. We have 4 or 5 different projects that they can do, and they're kids of all
Are they
ages.
trained for this?
No, I mean, we train them on the day. I mean, it's not difficult. It's not, super complicated art projects. It's, pretty easy art projects. Like we have one where you make paper bags with them. We have these like brown paper bag hats. The adults love it more than the kids do. So you make these and you embellish them with sparkles and boas and paint. And so it's simple things that you can do. You don't have to be...
What are some of the other things besides...
Booth sitting. So sometimes the artists need to go and visit the restroom or take a break. And so we have a booth sitter that comes in and minds the booth for them while the artist is out for 5 minutes. Or taking water to the artist. We want to make sure everybody stays hydrated through the weekend. So we take water out. You might want
do
to...
that?
Yes.
How nice of you. So you hand deliver water to the
deliver
artists so they
water,
stay hydrated.
You might help out in the Young Collectors Pavilion, where we have the artists donate small artworks, and then kids aged 5 to 14, they can come in for $5. Parents stay outside, and the kids get to choose a piece of art to start their own art collection. And so we have volunteers that kind of show them around and ask them what kind of thing they like and take them on a tour through the artwork that's there. You might help out with parking. You might think, I don't really want to get involved with so many people, but I'm happy to stand there and say to people, like, yep, there's a parking space over there, or that we're full, or just kind of managing that whole area, and people that do that and welcome people to the festival. All sorts of things
like
that
a
you
greeter.
can do, like a greeter.
Yeah, hey, welcome to Art in the Park. Happy to have you here.
Right.
So you're looking for somebody to do almost anything.
Almost anything.
Almost anything.
Within reason.
And you will be eternally grateful
Right.
for this. Plus, you get a T-shirt.
And, people come back year on year. So we have a lot of repeat volunteers every year. And they do, the first year they come and they do 2 hours. The next year they say, I want to do more. And the next year they're on the steering committee. I mean, so they kind of work their way up.
Okay,
So
Diana
it's fun.
Moxon. So people can go online to find out more about this.
artintheparkcolumbia.org, or they can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Columbia Art League.
Okay.
Sorry, Art in the Park Columbia is that
Okay,
one.
and don't forget, it is Saturday, June the 4th, from when to when?
10 a.m. till 5 p.m.,
And Sunday, June the 5th?
10 a.m. till 4 p.m.
Yeah, an hour earlier
An
because
hour
it's
earlier.
Sunday.
Parking
Okay.
at Boone Hospital Medical Plaza. Free entry. Doesn't cost anything to come down and look.
Okay.
But come and do some shopping.
All right, got it.
And volunteer.
And volunteer. She's looking for, what's the phone number to call to volunteer?
443-8838.
Ring her up, and she'll give you a volunteer position right there. Thank you. Tomorrow, Mizzou Botanic Garden and Capital City Players. Drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu, if there's something you'd like to hear or see. Bye-bye.